struggling right now trying to figure out like how to focus. It's almost like every time you sit down, you can't. It's there's too many things coming in your mind, too many bouncing thoughts. You always feel like it's a battle between trying to put your energy towards here, but also trying to put it towards there because there's so much going on. It's almost like you have tunnel vision. You can't see things clearly because of how fucked up your mind is. So I've been here multiple times. I still go here at times. I still lose focus on what I'm doing. But it was especially bad a few years ago. It used to be I was incapable of really doing anything that would change my life because I was so trapped within my thoughts. Kept having these thoughts, assuming that I had a lot of these mental disorders, when in reality, I was just putting way too much bad stuff inside of my brain. It wasn't until, and I'm gonna tell you guys, I've been meditating for a while, but probably one of the best meditation practices I have ever seen, ever done. I've done so many of them. One of the best that I've ever done that I think you guys should try is, I'm actually going to type it out, Vipassana meditation. So, anybody who doesn't know what this is, Vipassana meditation was essentially the type of meditation that he practiced and that he actually taught to people. So Vipassana meditation, while there's a bunch of different varieties of it, it basically goes like this. You're going to sit down for 30 minutes. That's what I did it for. But there's some versions of it where you can do it for like 20 minutes or an hour. It doesn't matter. There's variations. And Vipassana meditation is essentially you sitting down. Let's say you do it for 30 minutes. You sitting down, and every 5 minutes, a bell will ring. And you're literally just going to sit down. You're not going to move at all. You're just going to focus on one aspect. Maybe it's your belly moving as you breathe. Maybe it's just your breath. Maybe it's your chest rising. It doesn't matter. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be focusing on one thing, one part. It might even be a body part, the sensations it's feeling. But most of the time, you're probably going to want to stick with just the breath, just focusing simply on the breath. So let's say, okay, so you're going to be focusing on the breath and you're going to notice that your mind's going to be jumping and racing, but you have to bring your attention back to the breath. But why this practice is more powerful than just a regular basic meditation is because you're actually bringing your attention back whenever the bell's ringing, like you hear the ding, like the bell ringing, and then all of a sudden your attention is back. You're like, okay, wait, I have to focus on my breath. So this is you're not you're not going to be just sitting there and like kind of letting your mind wander, and then after like 10 minutes you're like, oh wait, I have to come back. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to be more mindful. We're trying to be more present while we're meditating. And so what this is going to do is, first of all, you're going to learn, because once you're sitting in this position, you're not going to be moving around a whole lot, because you're going to be sitting here for a while meditating. Your feet are going to start to fall asleep. Your legs are going to start aching. You're going to start having all these parts of your body. It's almost your body's way of saying, hey, I want to stand up, I want to move around, I want to do things, but you're actively ignoring it. You're focusing on this one present thing. You're focusing on your breath coming in and out. And this is actually going to build calluses in your mind that, like, okay, wait, so I have this task that I need to do, and I'm going to only focus on it. I'm not going to focus on the outside world. I'm not going to focus on this. I'm only going to be focusing on this present moment. Let me tell you that even if you have been meditating for a while, and even if you've been meditating for a while, or you have no meditation practice at all, this practice is very, very powerful to be able to actually see progress in a fairly short amount of time. So I've been meditating for a while, as you guys know, and I went on a week of doing only Vipassana. I ended up doing it longer because I really enjoyed it. I did 1 week of Vipassana, and dude, I cannot even tell you the amount of presence that I actually had. See, you think you're present right now because you're listening to my voice and you're watching this video. You think you're present because you go out and do these habits. But like true presence goes beyond that. It's almost like you can feel everything that's around you. And you feel like the simplicity of life. That's the best way I can describe it really. It's like imagine I'm gonna make a drawing so you guys can kind of see what I'm talking about. Imagine I probably made this diagram before. Imagine this is you and you have a job, maybe you're going to school, you're trying to work out, you're trying to build this habit, you're trying to get rid of this habit, you're trying to do this, and you start to notice that you have all of these things that are in your mind, all of these thoughts. And the problem with this is that you're so directionless. Like you don't it's so hard to actually see like what you're trying to do and like what's actually important whenever you have all of these things, all of these inputs coming inside of you. It's so hard to. And once you start to actually like do Vipassana, you start to notice that you're not the one making these thoughts. You start to notice that you're not the thinker. You're not the one who's making these thoughts. You're not these thoughts in general. You're simply the one who hears them. This is going to sound very abstract, but imagine it like this. You start meditating. You start to have these thoughts, but like let's be honest, sometimes thoughts just show up out of nowhere. Sometimes thoughts just show up like for no reason at all. Like you're not even thinking and things just show up. You can't be the thinker. You're simply the one who's hearing the thoughts. Like let's imagine this is the thinker and you're right next to them. But sometimes you can almost have control over what's going inside your mind. Like let's imagine right now. I'm going to tell you, do not think about a giraffe that's wearing glasses. You probably thought about it all of a sudden. You thought about a giraffe that's wearing glasses. You can tell the thinker about what to think about almost subconsciously. You still thought about it, even though I told you not to do it. So whenever it comes to meditation, Vipassana can really also be a gateway to positive thinking. So let's imagine right now all of these things are negative thoughts. All of them are negative thoughts. But what you can do once you start to build this silence in your mind, once you start to do Vipassana, you can start to just tell it good things. You can start to tell it good things like, this is hard, but I'm going to keep trying. Working out, that last workout session was sucky, but I'm going to make this next one better. You start telling yourself these good thoughts, and then you start to notice that you just have like a more positive mindset. Like whenever you were thrown in the same situation that you were before, when you had a negative mindset, you start to have like you start to have a better outlook of life. I like to think of it almost like a glass. So let's imagine this is a glass. This has all of your thoughts, this has all of your thoughts, all of your beliefs inside of it. So a lot of the times with meditation, we're trying to pour out this glass. We're trying to pour out this glass and we're trying to fill it back up with more positive stuff. This glass has a bunch of negative things inside of it, and we're trying to put in positive things. So Vipassana, like I said, you can look it up on YouTube, but like I said, it's like every single 5 minutes, a bell is going to go off to make sure that your presence is still on point. Try this for a week. Your action step: try Vipassana for 1 week. That's what I did it for. I did it for really about 3 weeks because like I said, I really enjoyed the practice. Try it for 1 week and see how your mind changes. You start to notice that you're much more present than you were before. You start to notice that all of a sudden, like things are so much clearer than they once were. The problems that you had before really aren't as bad as you thought they were. They're really not. And this is going, like, obviously it's going to calm you, and then everything else is just going to seem so much easier. So right now, if I can share it, let me let me look up YouTube. I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. So I'm sharing it for you guys now. So let me see if my YouTube will load. Okay, Vipassana meditation. So literally, I mean, you won't be able to see it because of how my YouTube is. I took off the screens, so you won't be able to see it, the thumbnails. But I just want to show you guys before I end up this video. There's this guy. There's a lot of them, but there's this one YouTuber that he really does make a lot of this right here, where it's literally just called Vipassana meditation. Is this exact video that I used? But this YouTuber in general, he is absolutely phenomenal. Like he makes a lot of these. Well, I mean, he's made a lot of these videos, and you can literally just go on to here. He has all sorts of lengths. You could just use this one, Vipassana meditation 30 minutes. He has a 15-minute one, 45, whatever you want. It's it's absolutely wonderful. He's a great YouTuber. I definitely use him because with a lot of the other ones, like they have like music in the background and they have like a weird sound for the bell. Like it making it too complicated. I'd recommend just using that guy. Look up Vipassana meditation and look for the YouTuber named Vipassana meditation. He makes absolutely wonderful videos and it's very simplistic. It's very, very simplistic. And that's all I have for you boys.